All right, another beautiful Metal Monday with Brett here. How are we looking at any green out there?
We were just saying if we do 52 a year, then we might squeeze a couple greens out.
We might get 10 greens in there because it feels like a lot of red.
Yeah.
A lot of blood in that pasture.
I heard the best quote this morning. I was listening to a podcast and they said, when you look out in the ocean and you see the tidal wave coming, right? Mm-hmm. There's two types of people in the world. There's people that go grab the fucking surfboard and they go ride it, or people that run to the beach, grab their towel and take off because they're scared, right? Mm-hmm. Like, you gotta pick a lane.
Are you grabbing the surfboard?
Fucking right, man. I only know one way.
That's what I thought.
And the people here in our company, they're surfboard grabbers.
Yeah.
The rest of them, they go grab the towel.
Let's go
and they
ride that red wave when it
run
comes.
For their car and get
We've
out
been
of here.
through, I don't know how, if you're listening to this, I'm not sure how long you've been in the industry, but there's a lot of ups and downs. The sun will come up tomorrow if you make a bad buy.
Yeah.
One thing I've heard from multiple people, the great thing about what we do, if you fuck up and make a bad buy, you should have another chance to make a good buy.
Yeah, exactly.
So it should even itself out.
That's the plan.
I've made my fair share of bad buys, and it sucks. Man, it sucks to be like, hey, Brett, I bought 10,000 pounds of copper too high because the market took a fat shit.
We always tell that story when we were first trying to learn how to do podcasts. We were in freaking, God, where were we?
Fort Worth?
We were in Texas doing it, but we were doing a podcast on pipe reline, and the market was just cratering. The scrap was cratering.
Dude, I think copper was off 20 or 30 cents. It was a long podcast. I think it was like a 2-hour long podcast. And I think we came out of there, and we were right in the middle of negotiations on a big demo job. And the guy, we had like a structure set up. The guy saw the market plummeting. I missed like 20 phone calls.
Yeah.
And he's like, can we lock in a day? And then us, we're like thinking we hit bottom. We're like, sure, that sounds good. We're like, oh,
great
come
idea.
back. But no, it kept fucking going. I think it went down on $1.
I know, like we lost like a whole $1 a pound.
Like that week, we lost $1.
Yeah.
And we sat, and we didn't.
We sat on it. We sat on it for a long time.
I mean, if you calculate how much it costs to sit on it, maybe we cut even. Who knows?
But we didn't. Yeah. But there for a while, it was a tough go on that sale. But that's the business that we're in. So it keeps it lively.
Do we get back to 4 this month? That's the question.
I think so.
Do we hit? What's the top?
I don't know, but I think we get past 4.
We haven't done a bet in a while.
I know. To do a bet. I think I'm down. I think we get past 4 again.
405.
Yeah. I'm down with that.
I got everything.
I think once we climb past 4, you climb the wall.
So do I get 404 and below?
Yeah.
All right, I'll take that.
Yeah, I think we climb the wall worry, at least for a little bit longer. I mean, I don't know. It feels pretty soft up there. The market feels a little bit squishy. It's 10 a.m. our time, so I've already been on the phone with, 2 shredders, and some other guys talking about scrap already. Just today, finally I feel like maybe we get some sales off. I'll probably sell some scrap.
So did you not close your any Ferris deals last week?
Yeah, I did. I sold some scrap west.
Okay.
So now it's just going to depend on my motivation to sell east. And I think generally it's we'll just see what the market does. But obviously it's softer this month, and the economy, if they truly slow these rate hikes down and say, okay, let's just see how this thing settles out. Maybe there's a chance for a soft landing, maybe not, but there's just a lot of macroeconomic factors going in that are weighing, I think, on the market in general. Commodities, oil, base metals. Your PGMs they're ripping this morning. Gold is going hard. So, I don't know. We'll see. I think it's there's just so many positives and negatives, out there that are pushing and pulling. But I get nervous when the market gets these big swings. When it's big ups and big downs and big ups, it means it's usually when it's you think about it like an earthquake, the biggest shakes before the actual destruction. It feels like that's where we're at. So
that's why with the market dipping on going back to copper, it's good to see it natural ebbs and flows. Because, in my experience, when you see a 30-cent swing, yeah, maybe it comes back, or maybe it goes down to $1.50 down,
Yeah.
Because I've seen it both ways, So that's what really scares me. And like you said, the ups too. Like, don't get me wrong, I love seeing waking up to 20-cent up copper.
Yeah.
I enjoy it, but at the same time, that does instill a little bit of fear. And
Well, it also
stability.
drives people's anticipation of what the value of their scrap to be that much higher, when oftentimes the market, like the consumer base, the consumers of that material,
Yes.
they don't chase the market as hard, right? I mean, just because copper's up 20 cents, unless you have a formula price based on the COMEX price today, then you're not going to see 20 cents of that. Like if you're selling a number 1 copper or number 2 copper or a red brass or a yellow brass that's got a copper component to it, you're not going to get all of that, say 20 cents. You might get a few cents of it, just because on the consumption side, unless they're really chasing a hot market, not just a one-day swing, you just won't, So then you're battling the price, on the purchase side of like, oh, it's up 20 cents. You're like, well, maybe, on the COMEX side, but not necessarily on our sell side. So I think you kind of have to be aware of that.
Yep, 100%. Okay, before we hit record on this, we were talking about Monday. If you like Monday or don't like Monday, what's your thoughts on Mondays?
I fucking love Monday.
Why?
Why? Because it's like a brand new start. Like the same reason why, like a new month, like we go all the way to 0 and like the journey begins again, right? And why I love a new year, it's like I like the challenge, right? I was talking to somebody yesterday. We put an offer on a piece of property in Caldwell, and I was talking to somebody on the phone, and they're like I figured you out, Brett, and I was like, they're like, what? And they're like you really are you really go for. You're in it for the challenge. Like, you're in it for the game. And I'm like, 1,000%. I was like, I'm 100, like, not necessarily the accolades as much as I am in it for, like, the actual competition of the game. You
like the chase, not when the clock hits 0 and you win. You like the middle area. You like the second and third quarter.
I prefer, like, just being in the middle of the shit. And sometimes I create my own messiness, but oftentimes, like, I just like being in the middle of it. So why do I love Mondays? Because it puts me right back in the middle of the day-to-day. Like, I love Saturdays with my family. We've been coaching sports, and Sundays taking my kids to the gym. Like, I post about that, and I love it. That's kind of our church. But man, like, like, I do love this. Like, I love just the day-to-day, like, grind.
I love it. I get borderline obsessed with time management, how to utilize my time, and I do get a sense of, like, relief on Monday because I do feel like, oh, okay, I got all this time to fit these projects in. Oftentimes I don't get them all done because things come up. But Fridays I get sometimes like, oh, shit, I didn't get that done, and I'll move it to the next week, So Mondays is a refresher for me. So enjoy your Monday out there, everybody.
My wife says I'm notoriously for overbooking shit. Like, at home on Saturday and Sunday. She's like, you can't cram all that into a day. I'm like, well, I'm going to give her hell.
And then I try the same thing on a day. I just move them over. If I don't get it, and then I forgive myself. Okay, I didn't get that done, but I'll get it done tomorrow.
Exactly.
All right.
Have a great week, everybody.
Thank you.
All right, bye.